What's up, guys? Make sure to check out ABQ Solo Radio, where I host Chaos with Cade in the morning from Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 9:30 Mountain Standard. That's their logo right there. Make sure to check it out on TellABQ.com. Yo, what's going on, man? How you been?
Been all right. I'm a little grumpy right now.
Yeah, why's that?
I have no clue. You ever get in those moods? You're just grumpy for no reason other than to be grumpy?
Yeah, I feel like I was that this morning. I feel like I took it out on everybody in the office. What would you say? I feel like it transferred over to you now.
Maybe you just pissed me off because you were being a jerk.
That could have been it too. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm gonna move this real quick. So I feel like you're too much of the focal point. That's not.
Yeah, let me fix my headphones.
Anyway, you got some stuff for me today, Cade. What do we?
Yeah, like
tell
I
me.
had talked on Chaos with Cade this morning. We had a shooting on Boulder recently, and this was the latest one since the Atlanta shooting. It's kind of sad because what did we hear someone say today? We were due for one.
Yeah, very. I mean, it's a shitty way of thinking, but it was true. Yeah, he said, he's like, well, it was, we were due for one, hadn't happened. It's been a while.
Yeah,
something along those lines. Which is true.
Isn't that sad that we live in an environment in this society where a shooting like this is just kind of like a norm?
Yeah. This is not to take topic off of it. I was telling you yesterday, I started watching a TV show on Apple TV called Defending Jacob. All right. In the show, there was a scene where they found a body close to the school. So, the school's going on lockdown, and I didn't know schools genuinely had this, but there was metal things coming, metal coverings coming down over the windows. It was it's like a legit lockdown, and actually schools in the U.S. actually have that. Isn't it crazy that we have did you ever have
no
shooter protocols or anything at your school when you were younger?
We had what was it? It was where they come in, they say they give a report. It's a lockdown, so they would lock the doors, turn off the lights, and then we'd hide under our desk. But I don't know if it was necessarily a shooter,
but just
I think a stranger on school. Did you have that?
Yeah, we had.
I think that might have been new when Columbine hits. We both weren't in school. We were both babies, but I think that first came around when the Columbine situation happened, because the Columbine still gets talked about today. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we had something. They would come over the intercom and they'd say, someone lost their red backpack. Keep an eye out. That was the code. Red backpack.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's not
yeah.
But it's horrible to me that they even have to do that. But tell me a little bit more about the Boulder shooting. I've been actively trying not to read about it because it's just.
Yeah, so I know an officer died in the line of fire. And I was actually in Boulder maybe less than a year ago. Yeah, I was in Boulder. I mean, you go there and you don't expect it because Boulder is such a very nice community. It's lovely. Everybody's really friendly. It's very white, mind you. I don't know if that plays into it, but I don't know. The information that I don't have is what the shooter looked like, the identity, and I know there was 10 people that were killed. But the shooting in Atlanta, that he killed some. It was a massage parlor.
It was a spa.
Is it a spa? Do they call them massage parlors? I don't know.
They do massages at spas, but they do a lot of other stuff.
Okay, yeah. So he killed some Asian women, and there were some other people who got caught into the crossfire as well. So apparently, I did some research on this. This kid, he was only 21, early 20s.
Hold on, I'm gonna stop you right there, because I keep hearing a lot of people are getting very upset that they're characterizing this guy as a kid. First and foremost,
I think we're still kids and we're in our 20s.
We're not kids, dude. I have a kid.
Okay, I don't have a kid, and
that's been a huge talking point. Is a lot of people are getting very upset that they're calling this guy a kid. And you have people of color who supposedly commit these crimes or whatever, and they're trying to push them up to this age to make them adults. You know what I mean? It's just no. The dude was 21 years old. He was an adult. been an adult for 3 years. Let's not complicate.
Anyway, so this guy, he shot up, all this. So he specifically targeted these spas because apparently he came from a very Christian household, and he would go to these spas to get, I don't know, like to get what's it called, man? What's the best way to put this?
He used it for ill
reasons. There you go. So he saw this as a kind of a slight at God, right? He was like, God's not going to forgive me. He got very religious, so he ended up just going off on a rampage. This man,
because he felt bad because of something he did, so that's why he went and did it.
Yeah.
See, I didn't even know that. I've really been trying not to read too much into it because it really just kind of bothers me. I know there was that quote that was kind of, I think it was debunked, that the police chief in that area said something along the lines of, this guy just had a bad day or something like that. I mean,
I saw that too. That was pretty shitty.
Apparently, it was debunked that that's not really what they misquoted the guy.
Really?
But regardless, I've been trying really, really hard to.
Let me see that. Yeah.
I've been trying really, really hard to avoid these kind of topics lately, because to me they're just like numbing. In all honesty, it is pretty shitty that it came down to something like, oh yeah, we really haven't had one of these in a while. Like I hate it. I mean, I think it's really shitty. It's scary when you think about it, man. Like you hear those, it's very cliche that people are like, oh, I don't want to have a kid and bring a kid into this crazy world. But I mean, it is kind of crazy when you think about it. When you have kids, like it's something you gotta genuinely worry about. Like sending them to school, dude, that really frustrates me that's even something that you gotta like worry about. You gotta teach kids this, I don't know.
And it's kind of crazy from our perspective, right? Because we're like in our mid-20s.
We're kids. Can't believe you call us that.
Well, it's different. I mean, if you look at, like, you got a house, you got a kid, you're engaged. Like, I live in a studio apartment. We live two different.
What does that make you a kid, though? You're not a kid.
That's the way I see myself. As just kind of like, like barely coming out of college type stuff. You go through life differently, man. All right. All right. I'm sorry. That man in Atlanta did a bad thing.
Yeah. Horrible.
The man.
Horrible.
Yeah. Anyway. So what were we talking about? Oh yeah. So anyway, we were born with 9/11. Our first, like, I guess, coherent, even though I don't remember it.
I don't. No.
Well, like a lot of people, grown people our age, they
being condescending.
They kind of remember it, and I'm just like, I don't remember 9/11, but we had to deal with the aftermath, right? So we had to deal with airlines, basically stricter protocols when going through what's it called? Customs.
But we never knew
Columbine. We had Sandy Hook. We had there's some other ones in there too that I can't really.
Too many.
Oh, the one that happened actually pretty like a few years back in Florida.
Oh, the nightclub.
Oh, the nightclub. There's another one too. The nightclub in 2018. I remember that. It was a gay nightclub, and that guy, he was. I can't remember exactly what religion was he, but his religion, frowned upon gay activity. So he was gay, and that's basically the same.
That's so crazy. That's the second kind of, it's the same thing. They're taking it on other people because they have their own reservations.
Yeah.
Religiously motivated, which kind of makes you think.
Yeah, it makes you think. Yeah. Anyway, there's a school shooting in Florida. Remember, there's a girl with her shit. She's like the spokesman for the whole class.
Oh,
she shaved her head
with like David Hogg and God, isn't that ridiculous that we can't even remember the names of these incidences?
Yeah, because there's probably some in there in between that we can't even remember. You know what I mean?
It's gonna bother me. Isn't it crazy that they like attack those kids from that school shooting, the one with like David Hogg and that like those kids are like genuinely attacked because they're speaking out against it.
Yeah.
like David Hogg is like a huge. He had a lot of back and forth with some conservative.
Yeah, he's starting his own pillow company against the My Pillow guy.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
Yeah,
dude, I can't think of the name of that.
Anyway, but yeah, that's so sad to even think about, and I don't know, the society. We live in a society, man. But
yeah, I mean, it's horrible. I mean, there's patterns when you look at it. You know, people don't want to. And like you said, you haven't seen what this guy looks like. The Boulder shooting, I haven't either. I'm kind of the mindset of like, that's what these guys want. They want the recognition. They want the infamy. They want the like I said, the infamy. They think fame comes with it, but I think it's better just to not plaster their faces and their names everywhere and dive into their lives. Like, this dude's a killer. This dude's a horrible, horrible human being that deserves the absolute worst that's come to him. That's it. You don't need to look into his past. You don't need to find out why he did it or like what motivated him to do it. No, the dude did it. He's a piece of shit. That should be it for me. Plain and simple. Yeah, it's a touchy topic, man. People get weird about stuff like this.
I feel like our lighting is not as bright.
It's not.
Maybe if we turn up this a little bit. That kind of made a difference. Anyway, well, this week we got on news and politics-centered stuff. What about culture? We got Ellen DeGeneres. We've been New York Times actually wrote an article about how our viewership's like down, like extensively. What are your thoughts?
Ever since, because of like the bullying stuff that went on?
Like the toxic workplace. I can't stand her.
We talked about this, right, on the podcast before?
Oh yeah, I think during the early years of airport.
When it first happened.
Yeah, that's
true. When it was
like
first happening.
Yeah, let's revisit. I still can't stand her. I mean, you look at her; she's like the human embodiment of bullying. If bullying was a thing, like stop bullying, it'd be her. Stop her. Stop Ellen, dude.
You think she herself is a bully?
Yeah, she's a menace to society.
May I ask why? Like, what does she?
She dances too much.
That makes her a bully?
It's like okay, look, if you look at ancient times, tribal men and women used to dance to assert their dominance. Okay, I'm just
yeah.
I feel like you're just handing me going on this rant.
No, I'm waiting for the bullshit.
That was
the punchline.
Oh, I don't know, man. I
get it. I get
show.
A lot of people dislike her. She's a very disingenuous person. She tries to preach like.
Doesn't she bully her guests? I was talking about earlier today about there's a cringe compilation where every guest she kind of like pushes them a little bit.
The worst one was the Mariah Carey thing.
Oh yeah,
you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
That was the worst one. That was a while. That was a long time ago, though.
We actually watched it on the podcast.
We might have. Yeah. Actually, wow. Yeah. We've regressed.
We have, man.
No, anyway, I don't dislike Ellen. My family, I have an auntie who's very, very pro Ellen. She always has been. She watched the Ellen Show. Not the Ellen Show, but the sitcom she was in.
Oh, yeah,
Ellen.
the 90s one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She watches all her stand-up comedy. I've watched them. They're okay. Not bad. I mean, it's not bad. It's really not bad. But her TV show is...
It's atrocious.
It's atrocious, man. She just seems like she's over it. Like, she just seems like she doesn't want to be there. She doesn't seem like a nice person. I think you can see it in a lot of her interactions. You can see it in her face. That she's just like... She just kind of seems like a shitty person, which I think has been, like, corroborated by all these things that came out. So, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that her show's going down. It's a very stale format. These on-air hosts. Yeah. I mean, you dislike a lot of radio. I mean, a lot of...
James Corbin is probably next in line. And he's like in everything, too. He gets casted as himself. He has no range as an actor. He's got a big influence on American society. Probably all over, actually, because he's also from the UK. But, I mean, my favorite's Jimmy Kimmel.
I will say, going back to James Corden, I do like the Fill Your Guts, Spill Your Guts segment. You ever watch those?
No.
Do you know the premise?
No. I know carpool karaoke.
Yeah, it's okay. Carpool karaoke sucks. I don't know why people like it. So the Spooky Gets Fairy Gets thing, it's been like a copied format, but he pretty much started. But I'll have like a table that turns, and it has like the grossest stuff you can think of, like cow testicles, like a rotten egg, like an old egg, cow tongue, like shit like that. Gross stuff. And they'll spin it, they'll give like their guess, and they'll pick something for them to do, and they'll read them a question, like, you know, you either have to answer the question, or you gotta be like, who's the worst producer, or who's the worst director, you know, who's your least favorite co-star, whatever. So something like stuff like that. And they either answer the question or they got it down, all that stuff. So that one's entertaining. I enjoy that. I used to really like Jimmy Fallon. Really dislike the guy now. I really don't like him.
He's too much for me too. He's probably above James Corden. Corbin or Corrigan?
Corden.
You don't think of Corbin Blue for some reason.
The High School Musical guy. Totally different. Totally different guy. Jimmy Fallon. Okay. So the late night host format to me is very get on. You have your monologue. You have your guests with the forced questions, and the audience members, and the games are very animated and like cartoonish in my opinion these days. Like they're very very much for kids. Like, have you seen the one with Jimmy Fallon where they put on like the big old hands and they'll like slap each other?
I would hate that. I would hate that. I already hate it.
I don't even remember what they do. It's like, yes, I don't know, but they play a card game actually is what I think they do. Anyway, the whole idea is that it's very stale and old. Should have been left in the early 2000s. People don't even really watch. I mean, they've shown now, like with COVID, that they can they don't have to be in front of a live audience. Like a lot of them do it from home. Stephen Colbert, Trevor Noah. I know for sure those two do it from their houses. I don't know. I haven't really watched the other two. And it's been entertaining. You know, what are the late night hosts that you enjoy?
Like I said, Jimmy Fallon. Do you feel like the little skits and bits he does with Guillermo? Do you think
Jimmy Kimmel?
What was I saying?
You said Fallon.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel.
Do I think they're racist?
The Guillermo one? Do you think so?
I like those though.
They're funny as hell.
Yeah,
but I think it's because we understand that. This is like this short little Mexican, like cute Mexican guy. That's funny. But I feel like
you say the cute little Mexican guy.
Yeah, dude. He's he's adorable, dude.
Yeah.
Like when he goes and asks for NBA players his autographs.
What does he have beef with? Does it live with LeBron? He's got beef with somebody. I enjoy those segments. Those are cool.
Yeah, those are funny.
Kimmel has the best like street segment, or like out of the.
Oh, like have you smoked crack? Like he asks people.
They'll go and ask people stuff like that. Yeah, or they'll be like, they'll put like a group of people and they'll be like, guess who's not related. You ever see that one?
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
Those are interesting. I enjoy those.
Out of
or when they trash on like Trump supporters and they'll go up, you know. Yeah.
I think out of all the show hosts, he's my favorite because he has more of a dry delivery, and you know me, that's more of my style. Like with Fallon, Corden.
What about Conan?
They're so flamboyant.
Do you like Conan?
I like Conan a little bit. Like he's probably right behind Kimmel. Conan had a really cool segment with video games, like watch me play this game.
He had a segment with PewDiePie.
Oh yeah. He did one where he goes to Taco Bell Corporation. That one was really cool. He can be a little bit over the top too sometimes because I remember he took a bite of something and he pretended like having a seizure.
Yeah, he'll take it like he'll just keep going. Sometimes
he's got the bouncy hair.
I love Conan though. Conan's probably by far my favorite late night talk show host. But
David Letterman, all time favorite.
No. What about that? R.I.P. Yeah.
He's still alive, dude.
Oh, who's the one that passed away? Is Larry King? I get this too confused.
Yeah, R.I.P. Larry King. He's not really a talk show host, but
he was like
he's more of a
interviewer.
Yeah, interviewer.
What was that girl that transfers? She got her late night show. She was a YouTuber.
Samantha Bee.
No. She was a woman of color. She did those. Her whole shtick on YouTube was super. Oh my God, it's gonna bother me. She got a late night talk show host just solely from being a YouTuber, and they put it on a network.
Lisa Koshy?
No, not like Liza Koshy. Lily Singh, I think it is.
Huh.
Lily Singh. I don't have my phone to check. Let me look this up real quick. It was.
Don't mess with it.
It got ripped apart. It was god awful. Just how bad it was. Yeah, this is it. It's called A Little Late with Listening. Dude, it got panned. Like, they were, like, forcing people, like, forcing the audience members to laugh. Like, her whole thing was that she's a woman of color. I think she's bisexual. And those are her character traits. And she would play them up, dude. Her monologues were horrible. And she'd be like, the white man doesn't want you to watch this show. They don't want you to see a woman of power. Of whatever 60. That was her whole reaching bad to the point where it was like overreaching, where it's like, okay, you're being a little bit racist now. Do you think that's possible?
She was trying to be so anti-racist, it turned into a little bit of.
I think that happens racism. A lot. Do you think that happens a lot?
I think so too, because it's like you're just kind of sitting there wondering, like, are you trying to be so anti-racist that you're kind of being facetious in a way?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's what her show was about. I think it got canceled. It was horrible, dude. You can find so many videos.
Cancel culture. But
speaking of cancel culture, did Jimmy Kimmel come back? He was being canceled for his Karl Malone bits years ago, blackface. Do you know about that?
I don't know.
Yeah, he was. That's he bad, did. Well,
anytime you hear blackface, you assume.
Okay. That's how it's being played. So he did bits on SNL probably like in the early 2000s. It was years ago, where he dressed up and he was in makeup as Karl Malone, the basketball player. Mm-hmm. He was obviously black. Jimmy Kimmel's not black, right? That was the issue, is that he was playing Karl Malone. He played it up like he was acting like kind of stupid and stuff like that. But those came back, and I think there might have been something else. But that was like the main thing where people canceled him. He took a break during COVID. I didn't know he came back. I have not paid attention whatsoever. It's all about YouTube now, right? That's how everyone gets their stuff anyway.
Anyway, we got 8 minutes left. So what?
Don't put a time frame on it.
Dude, I'm sorry, man. Sorry everybody. We got a lot of stuff going on, but we're trying to deliver the best content. Dude, you're looking at me like you're gonna kill me right now.
Anyway, what else you got?
March Madness. March Madness.
Jacob, you want to jump in on this, man? You're the go-to guy. My boy Jacob wrote an article probably like a month ago about the Golden Eagle, the Oral Roberts Golden Eagles. I think that's what they're called.
Yes.
Dude, I picked them, wrote them, knew nothing about college basketball other than what Jacob's articles have been putting out. I'm in first place right now.
Yeah, I've been following a lot of Jacob's articles, and you're in first place. I'm pretty high up there too.
Your team already fell out.
Yeah, I picked Texas Tech to go all the way, because if you pick the team to win it, then that's where you get all your points in this little tournament style thing we kind of have. But
Jacob, am I still in first place, man? We'll get him on. We'll get him on
later. But anyway, my bracket, the first game, it was over. Like, not perfect. Excuse me, $1 billion gone.
Oh, can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh, did you guys hear what I said?
I did not. What was that?
Might have to talk a little bit lower.
I said I'm in first. AJ's in like second or third, and Caden's like second to last.
You're in first? Oh, you're Stevenson? I did see that this morning.
I'm second to last?
Yeah, you kind of fell off because Texas Tech lost.
I did see somebody named Stevenson was first. That was you. I was not being honest when I said I was in first, because I knew I wasn't anymore. I had a very bad Sweet 16.
Jacob, but you called Oral Roberts to the Sweet 16.
I got him going all the way to the Elite 8. I got him beating Arkansas this week. Ooh. Jacob, you didn't even pick Oral Roberts, man. You wrote the article on him.
I didn't. I wrote an article about how they could win a game, and I didn't even pick them.
So we followed your advice.
You did.
So you got Gonzaga winning the tournament, right?
I do.
Do you still think that's possible? Because they had somewhat of a close game yesterday. I mean, it was close for the most part. Didn't look close at the end, but
yeah. They pulled away, but I think right now they're the favorite to win it all, because the other one seeds, Baylor's really good, but Michigan, Isaiah Livers, one of their best players, is out, and then Illinois is already out. So Gonzaga's, I think, is probably the favorite to win it all.
Yeah, so I don't know. We were watching March Madness in the office on Friday. That was pretty fun.
There's not another game until Saturday, right, Jacob?
Yeah, the Saturday and Sunday is Sweet 16.
All right, well, check out Jacob's content. You got a prediction article coming up pretty soon, right? Or that you're going to be working on? Get that. Keep an eye out for it. I mean, it's a little too late to put in your stuff now, but hey, you'll have a good idea of how you're going to do. Jacob's been pretty on top of it, especially for our March Madness content, the college basketball stuff. Like I said, I went into this is the first year I've ever made a bracket. I didn't know anything, and I know it's all a crapshoot, but I literally picked stuff because of Jacob's articles. I kind of got screwed over because he wrote an article a couple months ago about Luka Garza. Stuck in my head, so I had Iowa going pretty far.
Yeah,
they lost, but it happens.
Well, hey, let's talk about some projects we got going on for Tonique. I know I will be starting a new podcast with lifestyle writer Emma Wright. Name TBA for the podcast, but it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be about mental health, so go ahead and check it out. It's going to be weekly. You got Know Your Balls still rolling out with some heavy content. We got Avi's quick hits, and they're a hit, no doubt. We also got a new video out of the multimedia department by Rosemary Maldonado. So go check that out too. It's about Mott Street, New York City. So yeah.
Well, keep an eye out on the podcast. We're on Spotify. We just found out we're on Google Podcasts. I didn't even know that. Did you know that? We're on there. So I was trying to figure out to get it, and pretty much where we can get your podcast, you can kind of keep up with lots of Nick stuff. But keep out the content. We've had some awesome content coming out pretty recently. On our next podcast, we're going to try to bring in Matt Spurrier. He's one of the guests of the Politics podcast, Politics Refresh.
It's a politics. I thought it was political refresh.
I don't know.
I think it's the Politics Refresh.
Yeah, it is Politics Refresh.
Oh man,
you son of a gun. Anyway, keep an eye out for that. They're going to be having their second episode come out pretty soon. They're refining everything. It's awesome. So we're going to be bringing on some people because, as entertaining as Cade and I are, I think we work best when we're bouncing off of somebody. So keep an eye out for that. Cade, what else you got, man?
I don't got anything. Make sure to check me on ABQ Solo Radio, or you can listen to Chaos and Cade in the morning. So,
Definitely.
Yeah, anyway, we're out. Take it easy.
Avid Apparel.